Fireworks, fans, Frankburgers, fierce competition, and a whole lot of fun. We're talking wiffle ball on this spring term edition of In the Studio. Welcome to In the Studio. Each episode we learn about activities, organizations, and individuals here at Hanover College. Lambda Chi's WiffleBall tournament brings a 2-week-long party to campus every spring. I'm Gavin Rowland, and today I'm here with two of my brothers from Lambda Chi Alpha, Grady Shea and Matthew Hillard.
Hey Gavin, so you're the house bracketologist. You're charged with setting up the bracket and maintaining the schedule to make sure that teams play on time. This year there was a lot of rainfall that kind of disrupted play pretty often throughout May term. As bracketologist, how did you deal with the constant disruption to the tournament?
So the bracketologist position is typically ran by a senior, but with our seniors graduating this year, I took over the spot and he guided me through the whole process. He was on a golf tournament, so I had to be on a 4-hour FaceTime call with him to set up the bracket. It was pretty stressful in the moment, but with a lot of people studying abroad this year, we had not as many teams as we typically do. But when the bracket was made, everything was more calm. But with the rain, it definitely pushed back our ending time. We definitely wanted to finish a little earlier, but we all got it done in the end.
Right, so scheduling is the most important aspect of making sure that any event is run smoothly, right? But it's not an easy job. A slip-up was made with the bracket mid-tournament, kind of ruffled some feathers with the Fijis. As shown in the bracket, a team was shown to have won when they actually lost, and that had to be corrected. So what can you improve next year to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, so this happened with a little mix-up between me and my umpires. So we have a group chat. So every game I have a text from my umpires letting me know who wins so I can immediately go to the bracket. I guess the umpire on shift didn't text the right name at the time, or just no communication at all. So I just kind of guessed it of who the better team was, and it turned out the team I didn't have winning had won. So we had to go back and redo a couple of games, which did upset some teams, but in the end, they were understanding. It wasn't no malicious intent to send anybody home, but next year I think I'm gonna improve on having better communication with my umpires, texting them individually rather than just a group chat, maybe even going up to them in person after the games. While my job was stressful, our czar was the one who really did the heavy lifting during the setup. Here's a clip of my interview with the czar. I am here with
Josh Jones.
Josh. What is your position in this wiffle ball?
My position is czar, so basically what that entails is organizing all the events and making sure that people do their roles. So a lot of wiffle ball, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, and there's a lot of responsibility and moving parts that go along with that. So.
We also all worked together on promotional videos for wiffle ball. Everyone here in the studio made a separate edit, and here's my final edit.
What's the differences between college life in Ireland versus in the States?
I mean, I think just sort of like the whole fact that we have fraternities here, there's a lot of, I think it's a more welcoming campus than what I'm used to back home. I'm in a very bigger campus. I think that's sort of the main thing. It's just, you get to know people, you get to know everyone, so yeah, I think that'll be it.
And what are you most excited for wiffle ball this year?
Probably hitting home runs, that's probably me. Hitting home runs, getting on base, and honestly just charity, you know?
So it was definitely pretty hard working on the tournament as both an ump and on the grill, but while also recording for that video. And getting rained out all the time certainly didn't help. So how did you guys combat the same challenges to get a good final product for your videos?
I think it was really figuring out if we want to do it earlier at night, because in all our videos we preferred at night, but sometimes with the rain happening so late at night, I think it was just better going during the day, even though it wasn't ideal.
Yeah, it was hard to, also like the rain really screwed up a lot, and we kept having to have it pushed back, then it really put us behind. And also, like, we had to find like a good time to get a crowd, like a really good crowd to like really show what wiffle ball is about in our promos.
The weather also didn't help. One day it said it would rain, and it wouldn't rain at all, and then it said it was going to rain.
Yeah, the weather
the
weather
app really got us.
Yeah.
But, Matt, this wiffle ball season, you worked on the hamburger grill to feed people throughout the wiffle ball season. All our grill sales go and are donated to the charity Feeding America. This supports people across the country who face hunger. What sort of challenges did you face while working the grill this season?
Well, some of the challenges that I faced, I mean, they weren't really that bad. Like, I think like there was one point where I had like 30 people waiting in line for burgers, and like they're all hammered, so they're just so they're just like going, "Where's my burger?" just coming up to me, and I mean, it's you can just joke and cut up with them, and usually it was just fine. I mean, grilling 20 burgers is not really that bad. All you got to do is just flip them. That's it. And usually everybody, like everyone that's part of the grill, like the grill team, they'll see that you're getting just swamped, and they'll come in and just help you out. And they were a lot of help this year. So like another challenge was like sometimes people like wouldn't pay.
Yeah.
And so like they would do the thing where they would like show their Venmo,
but no money.
But it would say like transfer money, and you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be like, you're gonna press the button or something. But I mean, there's usually there wasn't really that big of a challenge to it. But despite the challenges, the season went pretty well, and a lot of people enjoyed their burgers. I brought a video, and as you'll see, the food isn't the only challenge. There's definitely a lot of steps that take place into setting up the wiffle ball field, and usually we get it done to around like 3 to 4 hours. Here's what the wiffle ball field looks like when it's completely set up. So, Josh, how'd the game go that you just played?
Went pretty well, worked well as a team, but we unfortunately took the L.
Grady, you took part in setting up the wiffle ball this year. There are different positions involved in that. How is the wiffle ball field set up every year, and what do some of the positions do?
So basically we will break down a lot of the members of the house into groups that have a specific role they need to take care of when we're setting it up. So we'll have lighting, we'll have field operations, grill, stuff like that. So lighting, obviously, we'll play at night most of the time, so we need to have a very well lit field. And lighting will make sure that we have everything set up behind home plate so that the batters can see. And then we'll have a much larger light out behind third base, and that will light most of the outfield for the fielders and the pitcher so that they can, see the ball to make the catch, right? And then we'll have the grill crew that needs to set up the tent for the grill, stuff like that. So basically, we just break it down into small, easily manageable tasks that each of us will do.
All right.
There are usually around 50 teams that play wiffle ball every season. All these teams range from different sports teams, fraternity teams, and so on. Every team is allowed 2 losses until they are completely out of the tournament. Matt, you were on 10 different teams. How was it playing for that many teams?
It was a ride. I'll say that. But I mean, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I was on. I'm trying to think of what I can say and what I can't say. But it was pretty good. I mean, I think I've hit like 3 or 4 home runs this year while playing with one arm because my shoulder's shot. And I mean, it was just like being on the sideline and just basically just chirping the other teams is what I love to do. And like everyone knows it's like all in all in good fun. Like everyone knows that like you're just joking around. And well, some people don't because we got
It gets a little intense sometimes.
yeah, because one of the teams I was on got basically
Disqualified?
yeah,
disqualified.
because
Always a way of putting
there
that.
was almost a fight that we didn't even start. So, but I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Grady, I understand how you were a late addition to the umpires. Here we see the umpire scheduling on screen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so basically, right before the tournament was about to start, we realized we were actually too short on umpires, and especially with a lot of the umpires playing on multiple teams. Like Matt, he wasn't an umpire, but he was on a lot of teams, and a lot of the umps were too. So we would have long stretches where we would need an umpire to run the game, but all of them were playing. So I stepped in at the very last second before our ump training meeting, basically, and I made sure that I was only on one or two teams. I think I was only on two. So if I was kind of the pinch ump, whenever we were out of umps or they weren't there to do their job, I would step in and just kind of fill in for them to make sure that, you know, one or two games where this ump is playing and all the other ones are unavailable, I would ump that game so that way that ump could still play for their team. Yeah, that's basically all I did, really.
Matt, so I know at times during this tournament you would have to take over as the grill master for the grill master being gone. How did you manage the grill master and your 10 teams?
Well, the times that I was scheduled this year, it was like, well, thankfully, like the times that was scheduled this year, we got rained out. So like I didn't have to work, but I did my part and filled in probably a lot more than what I should have, because I mean, I just love to work on grill. But so usually what people do is we have a group chat, and whenever you're scheduled to play, people usually, like people that are working grill, I think we had like 23 working the grill this year, they will like take over your shift for the time that you're playing. And a lot of times I would have to say, can someone take my shift? But I made it up by like, I would always take, when people asked to take shifts, I would always take them. And I would always help, like when I think Cole didn't schedule some days, he forgot to schedule some days, and I just helped him out on those days.
So I have to ask, with that being said, what was more enjoyable to you, the grill or the field?
Honestly, I really enjoyed like the grill more. I mean, like the field's fun, but it comes to a point to where like you're not really doing anything. The only thing you're doing is just talking to the other team or playing. And since like some of the teams that I was on, there were so many people, like it was hard to like make that enjoyable at times. But the grill, I mean, you're just working the grill and people are coming up and talking to you all the time, and it's mostly good. Like I had nobody come up to me and say like, oh, this burger's shit or something. But I mean, yeah, the grill is definitely a lot of fun.
Well, we have another successful wiffle ball tournament in the books. Next year we'll do it all over again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gavin Rowland in the studio.